What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. Today, as you can see, I'm donned in my maroon top. We are talking West Indies versus Sri Lanka. The series continues now. As you would know, you've been following my reviews and my previews and reactions. We've come off we're in the middle of a tour against Sri Lanka. Of course, we had a 2020 series tour which we won 2-1. Exciting T20, to be honest, series. Then we had ODI tour, which we're going to get onto just now. ODI series, should I say, that we're going to get onto just now. And tomorrow starts the test match, the first test match between the two, which goes towards the World Test Championship points for next season. So the World Test, no, it might be for this season, actually. But the World Test Championship final's already been decided. Of course, we know that's between India and New Zealand. But maybe we'll get a few more points to rise up the rankings for the final standings when that happens. Sorry, but in terms of the ODI series, as you can see from the thumbnail, West Indies sweep Sri Lanka 3-0. Comprehensive victory in the end. I mean, some of the games were closer than I would have hoped at times, but confident, competent wins nonetheless. Before we even get into that, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, if you're new around here. I want to talk about England-India quickly, actually. That was a very, very good T20 series. Brilliant T20 series. And I always say, like, I'm a fan of T20, but I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I do love my Test cricket. T20 for me, I think, should be generally left to either tournaments, so you got the World T20, or franchise cricket, so IPL, Big Bash, Caribbean Premier League, etc. Having these just endless T20 matches in the middle of series, or for not for no reason, but just having those in the middle of series, I'm not a big fan, because they play T20s all year round, across all different countries, all different tournaments. You don't need to put it in terms of international series. The only time when I think international teams should come together to play T20 is in the build-up to a T20 World Cup. So for me, World Cup should be about 4 years apart. So maybe the last 12 months of a 4-year cycle, you should be playing T20s like we're seeing now. Some people are just touring, going somewhere, playing a T20 series and leaving, because you're building up to the World Cup, which is fair enough. But 4 years of just sometimes you play sometimes you play a series and there's more T20s than Test matches, and you're like, there's not even a World Cup around the corner. What are you doing? I think T20s need to be left to franchise cricket. I think it works very, very well there, and international tournaments. But as I say, in the build up to this T20 World Cup that we got later this year, this series between India and England was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant series. England took the lead. India pegged it back. Then England took the lead again. It went 2-1 up. And what it seemed like, it was a case of win the toss, win the match, which you don't want in international cricket. You don't want, technically, the game to be decided by the toss. You want the toss to, yes, maybe give an advantage, hence why you do the toss, and then you can choose, let's do something. And we'll get onto the toss. We're talking about West Indies against Sri Lanka. You want to do something that benefits the strengths of your team. So if your team has a strength in batting, then you bat first. If your team has a strength in their bowling, if your team has a better in batting, you chase. If your team has a strength in bowling, you bat first. But what it seemed like in this series, regardless of whether your team strength was chasing or whatever, it was win the toss, win the game, because the amount of dew that was in the air, and making the ball very wet in the second innings, it kind of took off like 20 runs of whatever total you made. So it gave an advantage to the chasing side. And that's how it went for the first 3 matches. Win the toss, win the game, which you don't want to see. But credit to India, because they lost the toss in the last 2 games. They had to set a total in the last 2 games. England had to chase, and they won both. And it's some brilliant innings from the likes of Kohli. It's some brilliant innings from performances from Hardik Pandya, both with bat and ball. Rishabh Pant, Shreya, I can't remember the full name, but Shreya, Rohit Sharma, like their players came to the fore. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar brilliant bowler. Always been a good bowler for India. Tight lines, especially in ODI, limited over cricket, should I say. So India, I mean, it's well done for them to win the last two matches despite batting first, which was seen as a disadvantage. They set 225 in the last match in the fifth T20, and England were unable to chase it down. So credit to them. Brilliant series. What we like to see in cricket, we don't like to see these blowovers and where it's a cakewalk. You want to see competitive cricket. It keeps, even though we didn't have no fans in the ground at this stage, in the first three we did, which is also good. T20 cricket as well, with fans in the ground, is something exciting. Unfortunately, we weren't able to have it for the last couple. Big up Dinesh Kirai in the chat, and Hala Madrid. India versus England equals UCL, and West Indies versus Sri Lanka equals Europa League. Well, you say that, but West Indies are T20 world champions, the only team to win it twice. So make of that what you will. But we're going to talk about West Indies now in the ODIs. And I mean, I was so pleased with this team and their performances. It was always, I mean, we were always the favourites for the series, but we have to go out there and perform. And in the first game, again, it comes down to the toss, but Sri Lanka won the toss, and Sri Lanka's strength is in their bowling. They think if we can get a score of around 260 or so, then we can trust in the spinners. They do the same thing in T20s. Trust in the spinners to strangle, bring the run rate up high, and then take wickets as the West Indies are chasing against their quality spinners. But I tell you what, in that first game, first and foremost, they didn't get enough runs. Sri Lanka made 232, bowled out with 1 over to spare. Up after the first wicket partnership, where they made 105. And there was some controversy. We're not going to lie, there was some controversy. So the first wicket was a brilliant caught and bowled by Karen Pollard. If I could show it for what I want to show, I would. But I could have got maybe a picture. But the second wicket, which fell at 112, and that kind of just set their innings back so badly, was wicket given for obstructing the field. Now, Guna Thalaka? Can't remember how to pronounce his name now. When I'm watching and I hear it, I can say it, but I can't remember the top of it. It's not like Gunathilaka. Let's say that. Gunathilaka. I think that might be right. Gunathilaka. The ball was bowled by Pollard. He went to he played a shot, defended, dropped in front of him, and he went to take a quick single. But the non-striking batsman turned it down, and then Pollard was running towards the ball to get the ball to throw at the wicket to run out the batsman. He sees Pollard approaching, so he starts running backwards, and at the same time treaded on the ball. And Pollard kind of gave a little appeal to the umpire, like, "How's that? Like, is that out? Like, what's going on here? I'm trying to run him out. He's running on the ball. Like, how's that?" It went to the third umpire. I think they gave it a soft signal out on the field, which is another issue. I think we might get onto the soft signal part, because that was a big issue in the India series. Yeah, the India-England series was a big issue about soft signals and that. I might talk about that. Remind me about soft signal if I don't touch on it before we get onto the test matches. But yeah, they gave a soft signal out, and then the third umpire looked at it and basically said, yeah, after about 2 looks, yeah, that's out. And I'm like, but when you look at the other angle, especially from behind, you can see he's looking straight down the wicket. The ball is behind and on the floor, and he just runs backwards. So he has no intention, he doesn't even know where the ball is. He kind of trips over the ball, which means he didn't deliberately obstruct the fielder. And that's the rule. If you deliberately obstruct, then you give the wicket. I don't think Pollard was wrong to appeal, because you're asking. It's like an LBW. You know it's going down the leg side, but you ask. The umpire might give it. Maybe, especially sometimes in ODI cricket, limited over cricket, the ball that's gone down the leg side, that you know it's actually a wide. But you appeal to the umpire, try and take a little sneaky one. You never know. But he appealed. Nothing wrong with that. The umpire giving a soft signal out, again, I don't even have a big issue with that, because I think you have to give a soft signal and you get one chance to look at it. And that's your judgment. I think it was out, but I'm not sure. Let me know. The third umpire has many replays, and he made a decision so quickly. And I'm like, for me, it was clear. It was clear that the batsman didn't know where the ball was. Therefore, he didn't deliberately obstruct. He ran backwards in a straight line. He didn't deliberately obstruct. So for me, that was a very unfortunate dismissal and poor from the third umpire. I said at the time, I'll say it again. And that set Sri Lanka back way back. And they didn't really recover. They went from 101 without loss to 151 for 5. So they lost their next 5 wickets for 50 runs. And they got a bit of a partnership. Bandera made 50. Chandimal chipped in, well, not chipped in, got 12. And then Sandakan hit 16. But 232 was never going to be enough for them. Jason Holder, he picked up 2, opening the bowler with Azari Joseph. Jason Mohammed, who had a very good series with the ball, he picked up 2 for 12 off 4. Romario Shepherd, I mean, what was his role in this squad? We'll get onto that. And then we chased that down very comfortably. 3 overs to spare. Never got out of third gear. Didn't break a sweat. Evan Lewis, 65 off 90. He was there trying to build an innings, batting uncharacteristically against his true nature, of where he likes to score very quickly. And he just kind of stuck in, got 65 off 90. Shea Holt back in the side after a bit of a sabbatical, 110 off 103 balls, took it home. Well, I didn't take it all the way home. He did get out in the end with about 20 runs to go, and then Darren Bravo came in to finish it off alongside Jason Mohammed. So very comfortable victory. Very good all-round performance from the team. We go to the second ODI, and Sri Lanka, this time West Indies win the toss, and we elect to bowl first, because again, our strength is in our chasing. So we put Sri Lanka in, but it's the complete opposite, because Sri Lanka, their strength is in defending, their bowling. So they wouldn't be disappointed with that. And what they did differently this time was actually set a competitive total. They set a competitive total that their bowlers could bowl at. 273 for 8 they made in the end. Gunatilaka again, 96 off 96. Mohammed came in and got an important wicket to get him out before he reached his century. Mohammed picked up 4, I believe it was in this. No, 3 for 47 in this match, which was so key. Joseph picking up 2. But yeah, Gunatilaka 96, Chandimal got 71, and De Silva got 47. But the biggest issue we saw in this match, and we saw it in the next one as well, was our inability to bowl at the death. So we had them to about 190 odd. So it would have been 192 for what's it called? 192 for 5. Yeah, 192 for 5 at the start of the 40th over. So 10 overs to go. And they got 81 more runs for the loss of just 3 wickets. The inability to bowl at the death. Romario Shepherd went for 12 and over, 37 of 3 overs. Jason Holder went for 7 and over. Azari Joseph, his bowling at left was good. But where is Sheldon Cottrell? I'm confused. This man performed for us in the World Cup, unless he's got an injury that I'm not aware about. He performed for us in the World Cup. He bowls well at the top of the innings. He bowls well at the back of the innings. Where is Sheldon Cottrell? Because having one bowler is not good enough, because they're going to target the other end. And Romario Shepherd got hit from pillar to post. What is his role? Because he ain't a great bowler. He ain't a great batsman. I don't think he's a great fielder. What is his role in this team? Too long we've carried dibbly-dobbler players in the team who don't really offer anything specific. They just offer a bit of this and a bit of that. Like, I like Carlos Brathwaite, but he wasn't a good enough batsman. He wasn't a good enough bowler. He was a decent fielder. Is that enough? Is that enough to get into the West Indies side now? Decent batsman, decent bowler, decent fielder. I want some specialists. So I was like, I don't know what Romario Shepherd's role is in this team. He got hit from pillar to post. Holder's death bowling wasn't great. 81 we conceded at the end, and you're like, now we got a chase on our hands, which isn't a bad thing because you want to give yourself that experience, but you also want to win the series. You want to win the series, get the points on the board, because obviously you're trying to qualify for the World Cup without having to go through the embarrassing qualifier that we did last time with the likes of Scotland and Ireland and Afghanistan. I don't want to be doing that nonsense again. So we made it very, very difficult for ourselves. But again, the opening partnership, 192 between Evan Lewis and Shai Hope. Evan Lewis 103 of 121, so we went a bit quicker this time, and he was the one who got the century. And Shai Hope, I think he played his innings and paced it very, very well, 84 for 108. And then when Evan Lewis got out, coming down the wicket to sand the can, because we were kind of just going at the rate. We were going at, just over 5 and over. But really and truly, when those batsmen are set, they should be upping the rate. They should be upping the rate to 6 and 7. So if they were to lose the wicket, there's no pressure on the next batsman. The next batsman can come in, play themselves in, and the rate is not going to go past what it was required the first time. But the problem is, because we were going at the exact rate, which is fine, cool. You preserve your wicket, so then the batsman after can kind of swing harder because they've got a lot of wickets in hand. But it puts pressure on them to do it. And if they fail to do it, then you find yourself in a bit of trouble. And we lost those 2 wickets very quickly, 192 and 194. Darren Bravo comes in, hits a 6, then tries to go for it again. He's out, 212 for 3. And then Kieron Pollard comes in, hit a 6 and a 4. He's out, 233 for 4. Fabian Allen comes in. Like, in that time, Nicholas Pooran, I think he had did he get dropped? I think he got dropped off the spinner or the keeper was up, something like that. He took it home in the end, 35 or 38. He did play well, don't get it wrong. He did play very well. But I think the rate was rising and rising and rising. And you're thinking someone needs to take initiative here. Someone needs to do it. Fabian Allen came in, got 15 of 7, which was a good little impetus right at the end of the innings, which we really needed, to be honest. And in the end, only won by with 2 balls to spare. And I say only because at 190 odd without loss, it was a comfortable win. The rate in the end got up to, I think the highest it got to was about 10 and over. It was rising. Yeah, over 43, it was at 8.5. Over 44, it was at 9.5. Pollard came in 4-6, got the rate back down to 9. Then Pollard got out. It was at 9.2. At the end of over 47, Chimera bowled a very good over. It was at 10.3 with 3 overs to go. And yeah, 10 and over is still very capable. Of course, we proved it. But now you have to hit 4s and 6s. Allen hit 6 off the first ball, the over, and then got out next. And you're like, bloody hell, this is getting too tasty. It's getting too tasty. But luckily, Pooran was able to see us home. I think he hit about 12 more runs off the over, and then it was very, very comfortable after that. So, yeah, we went to the last over needing 9 of 6. You're thinking, yeah, that's comfortable. You get 1 boundary, and it should be done. First ball of the over was a dot, so you're thinking, bloody hell, West Indies are going to throw this away. But we did it. We secured the win, and we secured the more importantly, not more importantly, but in doing that, secured the series. So that was a series winner. Now we were looking for, let's go and get that clean sweep. Let me check some of your comments. Dinesh says, West Indies are very strong in T20. We are, and we need to try and translate that into ODI cricket, because at times we seem to play ODI cricket at the same rate or the same way we're trying to play T20, and you can't do that. You can't just go hell for leather from the start. But what I did see in this series was what I would say is a different approach, something different to what we saw in in the World Cup where we were just going hell for leather with a bat and ball and thinking we could blast teams out over the 50 overs or 100 overs for both innings. You can't do that in an ODI cricket. I've been critical of Bravo in ODI cricket. I've never rated him in this format, but he stepped up. Darren Bravo, yeah, I mean, his career has been a bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. So when he first came in, he was brilliant. Then he obviously went for a bit of a bad patch, and then he got dropped because of off the pitch issues. And he was out for about 2 years and then came back just before the World Cup. So he's been up and down already. But yeah, you know, he played a couple of good innings in this series to win us the series. On the India-England, this is India missing Jadeja and Bumrah. India missing, Jadeja and Bumrah missing, but they came. But when they come back, we'll make India more. Yeah, make India stronger, 100%. Jadeja, brilliant cricketer, all-round cricketer. And Bumrah, we know, is one of the leading fast bowlers in world cricket. Only one winning the series. Yeah, we were always going to win the series. This series that was. I wanted to do it comprehensively as we did a quick clean sweep. In terms of the test matches, again, we should be winning this series. It's a 2-match test series. Sri Lanka shouldn't win any. So if one ends up a draw by one, you know, for some reason, there's no reason why we shouldn't win the other. This series should be won by West Indies without a shadow of a doubt. No, I'm not going to be doing an IPL preview. I think I've spoken about it before. I don't really follow the IPL like that anymore for me to do a preview. So I'm going to have to give that one a miss. Shepherd is what you call a bits and pieces cricket. Literally, it's bits and pieces. Give you a bit of this, a bit of that, a little sprinkle of this, a little sprinkle of that, but no substance. It's like, you know, when you're hungry. You know you're hungry. You're like, oh, I come up to cook. So you go downstairs, you go into the fridge, and you just nibble at something. You go back to your bedroom. But you're still hungry. You go back again, just nibble at something. You're still hungry. And then after all of that, you're like, you know what? I just need dinner because this ain't satisfying me. That is Romario Shepherd. He give you a little bit of this, a little few overs that might hit 4 or 6. But in the end, you're like, I might as well just pick the batsman. Or I might as well just pick the bowler because he ain't giving me enough on either end. Even when you add it together, it ain't enough. That's the problem. It just ain't enough. England went through this period some years ago where they were picking a lot of bits and pieces cricketers. They had Ricky Clark, Ravi Bopora, Sami Patel, a lot of bits and pieces of cricketers, a little medium pace, dibbly dobblers. You're like, no, just pick a bowler, and he will save you 20 runs. Pick a batsman who will get you an extra 20, 30 runs. Instead of you pick up bits and pieces, oh, he might score 20, but he'll go at 10 and over. You cancel each other out. You're cancelling him out. His fielding ain't saving you 50, 30 runs on the field. Pick specialists, man. Pick specialists. And that includes all-rounders. You pick specialist all-rounders. You've been watching the Legends series in India, involving India, England, Sri Lanka. What's this? Where is this? If there's some where can I watch it? Let me know where I can watch that. I have not been watching it. It's on BT Sport. I've got the app and subscription, so I could watch it, but no, I haven't been watching it. But let me. Oh, I did hear about this. I heard about this, but no, I haven't been watching it. Where are you watching it? Oh, I'll check it out. India's middle order is so hard to select in T20. They've got so many quality cricketers. I think I saw a quote from Kohli saying he's going to be opening the batting in the IPL. Like, they just got so many quality cricketers. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but some people are going to be disappointed. You can only play 11. That's the reality. You can only play 11. But back to West Indies for the third ODI. Going for the clean sweep. Again, we won the toss, put Sri Lanka in, and they scored a very, very similar score, 274 for 6 this time. They had Bandara, so this time it was more the middle to lower order who got in on the runs. Bandara, he got 55, and Hasaranga De Silva, he got 80. Again, we have the problem. We had them 151 for 6 at 31 overs. The 8th wicket partnership put on 120. unbeaten. That's not good enough. Where we don't have the ability to take wickets or restrict the runs in the last 10 overs. We don't have that ability. And it's not good. In this format of the game, you will get punished in those last 10 overs if you can't pick up wickets. 274, cool. It wasn't a bad total, but other better bowling attacks will defend that, or better batting attacks will make more, 300 plus. We didn't have to chase a score over 300. And in modern day cricket, I know every pitch is different, but in modern day ODI cricket, 300 is par. If you get under 300, you're struggling to defend, like Sri Lanka were. We were very comfortable in all our chases, all of them. But why are we allowing so many runs to be scored? I think we conceded another 80 in the last 10 without taking a wicket. When you've got your foot on their neck, you ram home that advantage. And we're not doing that because we're bowling these bits and pieces. We brought in this Anderson Phillips. I think he's quicker, to be fair. I think he's more of a specialist bowler than Romario Shepherd. But he didn't open the bowling. We saw Jason Holder opening the bowling. He went at 8 of his nearly 9 and over for 6 overs. Anderson Phillips went at 7. It was Jason Mohammed who came on. He got a wicket, and then the spinner Akil Hussain, he got 3. They had to really pull back or to restrict them, I guess, because they picked up the wickets in the middle order, and there was no wickets picked up after. So we really need to work on our death bowling. But again, we had a very good innings again from Shai Hope, 64 of 72. So going at just under 90 runs per 100 ball, 90 strike rate, which is very good. I mean, he's been criticized for you kind of going at 70, and at the top of the innings, you can't. You have to be going at 90 to run a ball. You look at I say all the time, you look at the likes of Kane Williamson, Joe Root, Labuschagne, Virat Kohli. None of them are big sluggers or big hitters. They are stroke makers, and that's what Shai Hope is, a stroke maker. But you can be a stroke maker and still score quickly. And Darren Bravo came in. He got 100, 102 of 132. I mean, it was a good innings. In the end, it was a good innings overall. Let's be honest. It was a good innings overall. But at times, it was too slow. I understand he's been out for a little while as well, but at times it was just too slow. You're like, just pick it up. Pick up a bit, please. We don't want to get into a position where we lose a couple of wickets and we're behind the 8 ball again. And that's what happened. We lost a couple of wickets, and then we had to not rely on, but we had to get the lower order batsmen to kind of finish off the game with the all-rounders anyway, which is not a massive problem. But when you go from 39 for 2 to 148 for 3, so it's a brilliant 100-run stand, 110-run stand. But then you lose 2 quick wickets. Hope, Pooran, then you're bringing in Pollard and saying, all right, I need you to bat long. He batted over an hour, 42 balls, 53. Good finish to the innings. But the batsmen that are set, 102, you want that to be coming at a 90 strike rate. Ideally, that's where you really want it to be coming there when you get 102. Or you get 102, then you have to go on quicker. You then accelerate and then push your strike rate to catch up, basically, to, you can never get back balls that you lost, but you bring the rate up to a better rate. But again, we paced it in as well. For me, I guess it's a bit of PTSD because I've seen West Indies throw away so many matches. and that's what I'm worried about. But we paced it so well, and I was like, there's no way we should lose the match from here. And we didn't. We didn't lose the match. Very good overall team performance, if we're going to be completely honest, other than those, the death overs for us. But a 3-0 victory in the ODI series. And let me bring up the World Cup table. So there's a qualifying table for the World Cup 2023? Yeah, 2023. So I don't know if you can see that, actually. Let me try and make that bigger. So as you can see there, you've got Australia at the top, 6 matches, 4 wins, 2 losses, 40 points. Bangladesh with their 3 wins, which all came against us. As you can see there, we've lost 3. Then we got our 3 wins here. Afghanistan got 3 wins out of 3. England's got 3 out of 6. So we're separated. You got 2nd to 5th place currently separated by net run rate, but it's a long way to go. If I'm correct, it's the top 7. The top 7 qualify automatically, and then the rest have to go into like a qualifier playoff. So you got Australia, Bangladesh, England, Afghanistan, West Indies, Pakistan, New Zealand. Then you have Zimbabwe, Ireland, India, Sri Lanka, Netherlands, and South Africa. So that's currently where we stand. So it was important to win this match, win the series 3-0, get those points on the board, make sure we don't have to be qualifying for the World Cup. All right, let me see what you lot are saying in the chat. In the car, we got. See that already. We're lucky to have Hope. The guy averaged about 50. Yeah, listen, he's a very, very talented batsman. 50 in ODI cricket. I mean, he was breaking records in this series. I haven't got them in front of me. Number of runs, quickest to over a certain amount of runs. Brilliant batsman. The only thing he's had to work on is his ability to just rotate the strike, because he's not going to score. He's not going to hit big boundaries like the others. So to keep up the strike rate for him, he has to rotate the strike. Something that he struggled to do in the World Cup, but he's scoring runs, and the others have to hit around him. I will check that out. Thank you very much. Is Universal Boss still playing T20? Oh, sorry, my phone died. Yes, he is. He was in the T20 squad. He didn't do anything, but he was in the T20 squad against Sri Lanka. Will he be there for the T20 World Cup? I don't know. Oh, what's happened to my thing? I don't know if he'll be there for the T20 World Cup. There's still a little way to go before we get there. So I don't know if he's going to be in that squad. He didn't do anything. I wonder, is he done? Is he finished? Is Chris Gale done? It's possible. It's very possible that he might just be done. So I think we have to wait and see. I would love him to play one more World Cup for us, or at least a few matches in that World Cup. Play or one more World Cup for us, and then call it quits. Say goodbye. Thank you very much for your service, but it's time to go. All of them kind of thing there. Bear with me. I'm just getting up the test squad. We're gonna chat about the test matches in a second. What's going on? Bear with me. This thing's moving mad. Question there from Sammy. When is our next series? So obviously the test series, that's starting tomorrow, Sunday. In terms of limited overs, let me get that up, because obviously we're gonna have another series before the World Cup. I want to say New Zealand. Someone did tell me this before, actually. I want to say New Zealand were playing a limited over series against them, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Gaelic here just for vibes. Just call Russell back already. I mean, what's Russell's injuries like? What is Russell's injuries like? I don't know, because when we went into that 50th World Cup, we were carrying a lot of players. We were carrying a lot of players who had injuries, and it cost us in the end. That's the fact. It cost us in the end. Oh no, I'm saying we played New Zealand already. I don't know who our next series is against. Someone did tell me, I think. Someone did tell me. But no, I don't know. I don't know if we've got an actual scheduled series next after Sri Lanka, but I could be wrong. Yeah, you see Gail's new tune. All right, let's see now. So this is the test squad, which starts tomorrow. And I spoke about it before when I did a video when Craig Brathwaite was announced captain. So we know obviously Brathwaite's been given the captaincy, removed from Jason Holder, but of course he is in the squad, which is a good thing. We did have a little warm-up game against Sri Lanka. West Indies presents 11. So Chase, who's on the reserve list, for me, he should be in the team, let alone the squad. He should be in the team, but he's in the reserve list. Can't work that out. He picked up 4 for 12 from 7 overs. And Anderson Phillip picked up 3 as well. Roach picked up 2, and Shannon Gabriel got in a few overs as well. With the batting, Shea Hope made 68. So even though he's not in this squad because he's been dropped from the test side because of poor form, which I think is right, he's doing all he can to stake a claim. He got 68. Darren Bravo got 30. Kyle Mayers got 57. Roston Chase got 52. Roston Chase has to be in this squad. He has to be. He's a better batsman than Jamal Warrican and Rakeem Cornwall. Far better batsman. And their bowling is not world class. Roston Chase bowling is on par with theirs. Yeah, theirs are a bit better. They're specialists. They've kind of maybe mastered their craft a bit more. But Chase is more than useful with the ball. He's picked up some big wicket hauls. 8 against England in the West Indies. Like, he has won us games with both bat and ball. But he's on the reserve list. Like, even if you said, all right, we'll pick one specialist spinner for the squad, say Rakeem Cornwall, and the other one we bring in Roston Chase in the squad. So it gives you, of course, it gives us the option anyway. But to put him in the reserve list, that means that you're telling me he ain't going to be in the first test. How can he not be in the team? I don't understand it. Is he being punished for not going to Bangladesh? Is he? Because they told us they wouldn't be. They told us they wouldn't be punished for going to Bangladesh. But it looks like they might be being punished for going to Bangladesh. I'm not understanding what's going on. We did have some other matches. I'm like inter team games, and Bonner was playing. He got a bit of a score. So I'm happy with the batting lineup of the squad, what we have available. But the bowling, I don't understand how Roston Chase isn't there. John Campbell, he's on tenterhooks for me. This is his last series. If he doesn't perform, he has to go. Put in someone else there. Put in Evan Lewis. I mean, the way he batted in the ODIs with a bit more discipline and structure in his innings, he can do a job because John Campbell's not doing nothing. Jermaine Blackwood, as I said before, I think he's competing with one place between him, Hetmeyer, and Poran. So, if he's performing, and what can I say? Shamra Brooks has to be in this team. I know Kyle Mayer's got 200, a match-winning 200 in Bangladesh. But again, are you punishing people for not going to Bangladesh? You said you wouldn't. Where is Shamra Brooks? He should be in this squad. The bowling, I'm cool with it. Gabriel, Shannon Gabriel, Azari Joseph, and Kemar Roach. Yeah, he's there, Kemar Roach. Roston Chase should be here. You got Joshua De Silva over Dowrich. Unless Dowrich is still injured from the New Zealand series, which I don't think he is. Why is Dowrich not back in the squad? I do like Joshua De Silva. He looks like a good batsman. But surely Dowrich has earned his place not to just lose it for not going to one tour to Bangladesh. Dowrich, Chase, and Shamra Brooks should be in this squad and in this team over Joshua De Silva, Kyle Mayers, and Jamal Warrican. That's my biggest issue. But regardless, I think it's a team that is good enough to beat Sri Lanka at home, and I expect us to beat Sri Lanka. It's as simple as that. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses. This is the team. This is the squad. Go out and win. Even without the 3 players that I mentioned, this squad is still better. So I expect us to go and win. We had a good win against Bangladesh. It'll be interesting to see how Craig Brathwaite performs with the proper captaincy. We know we got it in Bangladesh because Jason Holder wasn't there, but now he's going to be leading Jason Holder. He's going to be the captain. Jason Holder is just an all-rounder who I hope can perform better now without the pressures of doing everything. Being the captain, being the leading all-rounder, bowling a lot of overs that he does, relying on him to score runs at the back of the inning. So I hope that we can get a better performance from him as he he enhances his reputation as a leading all-rounder in world cricket. That's what I hope for. And yeah, I just hope, wish Craig Brathwaite the best in his new sojourn as West Indies captain, leading the country, leading the team, leading the nation, representing all the islands of the Caribbean. Before I head out, last comment here from Hala Madrid said, I wanted a good T20 test before the World Cup. We should play India, England, Australia. 100% agree. We have to play at least one more. We played New Zealand, we played Bangladesh, we played Sri Lanka. You're right. I want to play one of those 3 teams before the World Cup. I would like to play Australia. We are going to be playing in Australia for the World Cup, so that might be a decent test as well. But yeah, we definitely need one of those just to really see where we're at. We beating Sri Lanka doesn't tell me much. It shows that I can see where we are in terms of what strengths we've got, but it doesn't tell me how good we are compared to the best. So I would like to see that. But guys, listen, thanks for joining me, man. Slap the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We won the T20 series 2-1. We won the ODI series 3-0. Let's go and win this test match series starting tomorrow 2-0. Make it a comprehensive, clean sweep of a tour. Win all 3 series. Send Sri Lanka packing. And then we can focus on the T20 World Cup later this year. Smash the like button, and I'll see you all soon.